Hey, I have some things to share. I'm seeing a lot of things and I'm seeing how I've been so stuck inside of myself in a lot of different ways, stuck in my own little story, and how other people may be stuck as well too in this story inside their head when the reality is that really what's going on in the present moment. Present awareness, building that inside of yourself and inside of this right now and being able to utilize what you have. You have attention, you have life, you have so many resources, and there's so many things that are given to us. And I've been on this incredible search that I have a lot to share in really going beyond the so-called things, going beyond the physical things, and really understanding on a deep level, because this material wealth is really, really nice and good, but how good is it if there's a divide, if you have nobody to share it with? Because maybe that's what life is really all about. It doesn't necessarily determine one's happiness. It can help. It can help in not worrying about a lot of different things. And that's what I want to be able to help in a lot of ways, that I've learned through my own experience and being mentored and trained in everything, is that we have so much more power inside of us than what we may realize. And so the question is, are you willing to let go of the thoughts that you have been running in your head? Are you willing to drop the discussions that you're looking for? Like, what are you looking for? This isn't to put anybody down, but it's the point of, this is where we go with the spiritual DNA consultations, where we're not here to talk about what you want to talk about. This isn't just a gathering where we get to just hang out and just shoot the crap, and catch up and all this stuff. Like, we're not catching up. We're here to propel ourselves forward. We're here to move forward in life. What do we need? What do we need to make peace with the past so that we can move forward? Why do we need to live in the past? Why do we need to create a vacation from life? I want to be able to build and design and live a life that's worth living. This is what it's about. So those who want to build a life worth living, and I'm going to be speaking. I'm just going to be speaking, putting the things out there, and this is a life mission. This is a life mission. So this isn't just some overnight operation type of thing. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna, do the best, and this is what I feel that I'm called here to do. Things happen in life. There's a lot of things going on in a lot of different people. So how do we find the peace that is always inside of us and be able to hold that? To be able to hold that in our attention and in our focus, so that we do not get distracted by the hurt. Okay, there may be a lot of hurt people, and that doesn't mean that you have to be hurt. That doesn't mean that you have to continue on to act hurt, to feel hurt. That you have the power to mend that inside of you and change your attraction. And so we're going into different training, whether that's healing money wounds and financial wounds and different things, because this is a big part, as well too, is with the health. And these are all interconnected, because what good is wealth if you don't have health? The greatest wealth is health. So first and foremost, it's about health. In a lot of different ways in this culture, in the society, we've made money the top priority. Money's up there. Money's important to function, to open up doors in society, to create businesses that provide solutions and fulfill needs in the community and the world. But it's not everything. That there is something beyond that, that we use that as a tool, to be able to express something inside of us that we all have, that we want to share. that we want to experience this communion and this union, this sharing together. And it's a very beautiful thing. It's important for us to keep our eyes on the prize. That's the prize in a lot of different ways, depending upon what you truly want. And understanding that we're all on our own healing journey, so you're here to have what you want, but first it's about understanding and identifying what you want. And it's okay to go through life not wanting what you're receiving. It's okay. And the part is, when is enough enough? The reality is that anything can happen in life. So to just be thankful and to understand that you are alive, and to take a breath in and take a breath out, and just release and relax. Allow the body to relax through every exhale. This is what we can do with meditation, with different techniques and experiences, that we can shift the consciousness, we can shift the emotional states. And so there's a lot of power inside of us to be able to transform and to change our outer circumstances if we focus on that inside of ourselves. We can get lost in the outer world, and that's where it seems there are maybe a lot of people who are kind of caught up in appearances, caught up in society and culture and the masses and what everybody else is doing. But that's not what life is about, is it? What's life? What's life to you? And you can live life however you want to live life. There's a movie before called Trading Spaces, and it illustrates a very clear, fundamental, empowering idea, concept, belief, understanding that in a lot of ways it's all programming, right? So they switched places, where you had this wealthy, successful Wall Street person switching with somebody living on the streets, basically, and at the mercy of everybody else. And so that is a very humbling experience for each party in different ways. And it illustrated that the person coming from the street was able to replace and be successful on Wall Street as well too, once he was able to reprogram himself and build the self-confidence and the self-esteem in what he was able to do. And so maybe you have not had the examples in your life, maybe you have not had the models in your life for success, but that doesn't mean that you have to continue on. That doesn't mean that you cannot find those models, those examples of success, of what you want to become. And first, that's identifying what you want to become in life, what you really want in life. When is the point of enough is enough? When is that happening? When are you getting to the point where you're like, okay, you're so tired of complaining all the time that you're starting to think about why you're complaining. You're starting to become more aware of how much you're complaining. Because this isn't to put anybody down. This is just the reality. If we gotten to a point collectively inside of ourselves where we are negative and put ourselves down in so many unconscious ways, that we have a great opportunity to be able to change that, to be able to shift that. You know, for me, that's my lesson. That's what brings me so much value, is that I wasn't necessarily raised in this type of stuff. I was raised in a different programming, and so my journey, my spiritual journey, healing journey, is to transcend that. And so that is taking me a little bit more time, and I may not necessarily be successful in society's eyes, but what is success? You know, is it just money in the bank? Because I got a gold mine in my front yard. I have so much wealth inside of myself, acres of diamonds, and to be able to realize and to meditate and blossom. So finding that value inside of yourself, it's not just about having money. It's about being able to make money. It's about income. It's about cash flow. It's about knowing that you can do that inside of yourself, overcoming your own self-limiting beliefs, and understanding that whatever you want to do, you can do that, and go ahead and do that. And try again. Seek help, seek advice that can help you. And if you have to adjust, adjust. But understanding that if you do not have a purpose, if you do not have a vision of something that you want in life, then what are you really doing? And people are just getting in the way of other people. They're looking for trouble, and they're causing a lot of harm. And that's what's really going on in this world, is that people have such a superficial sense of purpose and belief in life, mainly of just make money and raise a family and what. But the part is, how are you living? It's not just making a living, like, how are you living though? Like, we're working so hard to make this money, to live this life of luxury, of convenience, of pleasure. For what? Like, how are we living it? Like, we're given so much. We have so much. So that's a huge thing that I provide, is that I've been able to go on my own search and really go beyond the physical things and understand, because I felt something deeper inside of myself. I wanted something deeper than all of these physical things. They didn't float my boat. So I went on a huge spiritual search, and I suffered in a lot of different ways, putting myself through that so that I can condition myself and break the suffering in life, to break the attachment. There's a lot of psychological attachment with eating, with sleeping, with people, and breaking free from these beliefs and these attachments. Fasting is a huge thing, and we're going to be getting more into this with healing with food and everything. So that's a huge thing. I've experienced and talked to a lot of different types of doctors and different things, and especially people who have experience, who have lived on this planet for some years now. Back in the day, so to speak, as they say, fasting was more of an effective healing modality, method, technique to utilize for somebody to rebalance themselves and their body into homeostasis. And things have changed. There's a lot more pollution, there's a lot more chemicals, there's a lot more diseases, and a lot more things going on. And fasting can actually cause harm, and because of if too many of the toxins are released at once and different things. So it's actually an incredibly important aspect, and to be able to work towards it, and to watch out into different things. And I've done through a lot of intense fasting and different things. And I would suggest, if anybody does that type of thing, especially if it's over 3 days, to have somebody watch you and to make sure you know what you're doing, and to take it step by step, and you don't have to go on a huge 30-40 day fast or anything. A bigger fast is really the mental game, and the mental stimulus, and the attachment with that, and to being able to understand that balance is key to everything. So it doesn't make sense to go on a huge fast and then you just you just binge right into it, and cause, if not more harm than you did healing during that time from introducing food too quickly to the body. That's one of the more difficult parts of fast, in my experience, is being able to have that discipline and that control. And you get two different levels inside yourself as you increase your consciousness, as you increase your awareness, where you are, it's a different thing. Like that's something I want to be able to share and help people with, especially sugary things. Understanding the acid and the alkaline of the body, of the digestive system. They say the digestive system and the stomach and everything, it's basically like a second brain to the body, and the food affects us and how we think, how we feel in a lot of different ways. And one of the key aspects of that is watching how much sugar intake and what type of sugar that is, because this is a relatively new phenomena in our developing world, where we have this energy that is in such a raw form, a form that's absorbed so easily that we can overdo it a lot. And life's about balance.